Hey there, it's a Dad Who Games, and these are the Power Masters, Slapdash, Double Dealer, and of course, Optimus Prime. Another day and another video. Thanks for checking this one out. And let me tell you, these Transformers are powerful. A powerful kick to the groin. Yes, these are my least favorite Transformers, mainly because they just started to become plastic, bulky toys. Not Transformers anymore, at least in my opinion. They're huge and bulky, but as an added bonus, because of their size and plastic nature, makes for some immensely tight joints. Like Optimus Prime's trailer? Holy crap. Nonetheless, I wanted to document that I have them in my possession before attempting to sell them and try to recycle the value and get something I actually want. Subscriptions could also help rectify my meager Transformers collection status. In the meantime, let's check out these Masters of Power. So, in order for one to become a Power Master, one must have this tiny engine that transforms into an equally tiny robot. That's cool and all, but when these little guys are in engine form, they attach to the main transformer in order to unlock their power. The unlocking is only really noticeable on Double Dealer, but this here is Slapdash. He's another Formula 1 race car to join the ranks of Mirage and Dragstrip for using an already cool car design to guarantee a solid vehicle form. Yes, he's incredibly bulky and plasticky, but, well, he is what he is. Accessories that are forced into becoming a part of the vehicle form really peeve me. I mean, look at him with his little tight engine. It doesn't even match the color scheme. I honestly keep the engine bots away and never put them in their powerful spot. With Slapdash here, he looks 1,000 times cooler with the yellow engine instead of his little buddy. That being said, I really have no fond memories of imaginative play with this guy, except that he was most certainly a "but mom, please" scenario purchase. I mentioned the universal childhood experience in my last video, but I'm going to start calling it a "but mom please" scenario. It's those times in your childhood where you really wanted something so badly that you would enact the whining phrase, "but mom please." It was certainly risky to commence the whining, especially in knowing that there were two possible situations to follow. One, the selection of toys just sucked. Like, they had the brand you liked, just not the one you were looking for. Or two, your guardian gave you a specific price point that was significantly lower due to the duress of having succumbed to your whining. For whatever reason, I specifically remember getting Slapdash at what used to be a store called Clover. I think it was like the cheap brands from Strawbridge's and Clothier. If you don't know, don't worry. Suffice it to say, it was a Kmart-esque, had a little bit of everything department store. The blip of a toy section was worth a sigh when your mom tell you that you'd be going to Clover. Nonetheless, toys are toys, and I do recall the inevitable whine to acquire a Transformer. My mom put a price point on her giving in, and I was left with a paltry selection. This was where Slapdash came from. Needless to say, I was generally disappointed with the bulky design, but it was still a Power Master. I'd seen the commercials, and I was stoked to have the little engine robot. My own personal opinion aside, my mother and brother called it a baby's toy, or my toy car, where previously they had all been Transformers. Much to what hindsight has told me, I recognize that my family tried to kill the child in me, and it had worked at this point to end my interest of Transformers. I got the other two as gifts from extended family, but I never played with them, because they'd always just be baby toys to me. Wow, that took a turn. So, how about you share a "but mom please" scenario in the comments section below? Anyway, sorry Double Dealer for talking over your glorious entrance, but, well, deal with it. I can easily cut to the chase with this guy though. His missile launcher form has always been the only form I have ever kept him in. The other two forms are just, pardon my French, lame. The robot form is a nearly unmovable statue, and the other form, I'll let the purple wings speak for themselves. As a result of my having never transformed him, I'm thankful that I'm not sharing the sounds of these toys transforming. Both Double Dealer and Prime have nearly impossibly tight joints that make some of the most obnoxious cracks and pops when transforming them. While I'm sure both Slapdash and Prime were capable of having their little engines unlock their powers, aka unlock the ability to transform them out of their vehicle forms, Double Dealer is the only one that legitimately needs the tiny robots to break out of his vehicle mode. Plus, this guy has 2 engines, an Autobot and a Decepticon, hence Double Dealer, as he can throw up either side symbol. The little Autobot robot unlocks the statue form, and this little bat unlocks, well, a vulture. Yeah, it's one of those animal vehicle triple changer things. I simply disliked animal transformers, but the awesomeness of the missile launcher form more than made up for this bird. It just goes to show that Decepticons default to the silliest characters. Like at the drawing board, when someone comes up with a character that the others deem as lame, they put it in the Decepticon column of their T-chart. I guess when you're considering characters like Double Dealer, it's more a Venn diagram, but make no mistake, something along these lines occurred in a brainstorm session at Hasbro. But actually, let's hold up. Incoming majestic imagery. Don't get me wrong, I like the wings, just not on a Transformer. But when it comes to the head, and while not a bird, we move on to the worst of my 3 Power Masters, Prime. There honestly is nothing redeeming about this toy. I mean, yeah, it's a decent looking 18-wheeler, but it's as stiff as a corpse and about as fun on the dance floor. You need to force just about every aspect of its transformation, and that's simply by design. Be it giving Prime feet, fiddling with the different forms of the trailer, or trying to fit the accessories in their assigned holes. He's just anti-fun. Ultra Magnus used to be my least favorite Transformer until this one rolled in. There's just something about the large Transformers that just doesn't do it for me. Like, I don't know. It must have something to do with details. The smaller ones just have smaller or finer details to make them look cool, that if you were to enlarge them, like say Sideswipe became as big as Optimus Prime here, he'd be just as doofy as this. But enough hate. In addition to being the classic style of Prime's 18-wheeler, there are 2 additional transformations. First, the cab becomes the traditional Optimus Prime. In looks only, he's another statue otherwise. While the trailer becomes this base that seems scaled to tiny Transformers as the normal-sized Transformers tower over this fortification. The final form is Super Shredder. No, seriously, go back and watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and tell me that the supersized Prime you'll see shortly doesn't look like Super Shredder. Anyway, this trailer is absolutely a stiff hunk of plastic. With the exception of a few pieces, it's a chore to move anything. There is a little hidey hole to make the trailer seem functional, but it's nearly impossible to open without breaking a nail. Believe it or not, I actually think the fortification form of the trailer is the best form. Mainly, this is because it isn't supposed to move. So you can look at it and, if dedicated, use other Transformers to use it. This to me is the only valid play factor. Had this toy come with a little car like Metroplex did, my feelings against this Prime might have been alleviated, but only a bit. However, the touch of having the red arms just stick up with an upside down Autobot symbol is a nice touch. But enough talk about this infernal form of Power Master Prime. The time is now upon us to lay our gaze upon its greatness. Which, like the word awesome, despite its predominant positive usage, can most certainly be used conversely. Case in point, the great dumpster fire of a toy. But after a few forced awkward transformations, I mean, you can see me forcing it. I didn't know transforming Transformers could cause a hemorrhoid. You know, I do really like Transformers, and where they have come and where they're going. But this phase of toys just really came off like Coke 2. It was a well-intended attempt, but when even a kid calls shenanigans, you know something is off. Was there a toy from your childhood that even then you knew was crap? Like either you avoided it at the store or quietly placed it at the bottom of your proverbial toy box? Let me know in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those of us in between, I present Power Master Prime. He can move his arms up. Did you see? Well, it has been a hoot to play with these toys, essentially for the first time. They may not be my favorite, but they still are a part of my collection. For now. Got to get on that value recycling. You know what I mean? But until then, and until the next, have a day.